Studio, probably one of our most successful actors, and the good thing about Karl is that he just does roles. There's no big sort of fanfare, and he comes back to New Zealand in between all his big Hollywood roles and just chills out like a Kiwi. I love that about you, Karl.
Wouldn't want to live anywhere else, mate. Honestly,
Really?
Wouldn't want to.
Karl, can I have a request?
Sure.
Could you do the rest of this interview in your Dredd voice?
Yeah, Jody just texted in saying, shush Dom, Mike and JJ, no more talking from you guys. Hot voice alert, let him do all the talking.
Hey Jody, how are you? It's breakfast time.
Wow. Yeah, you're an amazing guy because we see you around all the time, just walking around with your kids doing things. After you did Star Trek a couple of years ago, I saw you at a cafe called Ripe. I said, you should come in for a chat one day. You said, I can't, mate. Busy staining the deck at the moment.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, true.
So Kiwi.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you gotta keep it real. I don't see any point in locking myself away somewhere. I've seen guys, big stars who just don't go out in public anymore. I couldn't do that. It's just not me,
Yeah, got to keep it normal, don't you?
So how do you work it? Like, how many months of the year are you overseas? How many months of the year are you here in Auckland?
Well, obviously I live here in Auckland, so I'm here at least 6 months of the year.
Right.
Yeah. And then and it's just a travel from there.
What happened to your
Just moving down in the world.
She is adjusting. All right, here.
New Zealand.
I tell you what, you sort out your chair. We're going to play.
I'm good.
We're going to play the trailer from Dredd, which opens tomorrow. God, I loved that movie. It was just so good, Karl. I've been lucky enough to see it in advance, and I thought, quite a test for an actor, because with, I guess, a mask on your face, all the emotion has to come from just the tiny little bit of the mouth that you see in your actions, and you play that so well, mate.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, that was the challenge. The challenge was how to communicate with the audience without the eyes. The voice becomes important, and the physicality. So, yeah, thank you I'm glad you enjoyed it. That's actually been quite amazing. The response to this movie has been phenomenal. There's it's got 80% positive rating on Rotten Tomatoes, 7.5 something on IMDb. People are digging this movie.
Yeah, it's good.
I thought I was going to hate it because I hate sci-fi movies, but we had to go and see it because you were coming in, and I really liked it.
It's not really sci-fi though. It's a bit more like futuristic.
Right.
It's not like robots and flying cars and all that stuff. It's just a bit more grungy, futuristic.
Right, and no love scene in there either, which I thought, oh god, because it's you hanging out with this rookie cop who's pretty hot, and I thought, it's going to happen at some point, but it didn't. It was great.
No, it's not that kind of helmet movie.
Did you guys try and pash with helmets on though? Anyway, just for fun. I mean, I know you're a married man, but I mean, for a scene.
We did not try that. Maybe for the sequel, let's just log that idea.
Okay, cool. Hey, we've got a couple of questions here. Michelle, hi.
Hi.
Hi. What do you want to ask Karl Urban?
Just what's his favourite movie role he's ever done?
What's my favourite movie role I've ever done? I'd have to say Dredd, and it's not just because I'm promoting it at the moment. All things come back to Dredd. But you know what? It was just a wonderful collaborative experience. I worked with Alex Garland, who wrote The Beach, and directed and wrote 28 Days Later, and Olivia Thirby, my co-star, was phenomenal. And it was just an awesome time. And working in South Africa was incredible. I just had a really great time there, and it really helped the fact that the All Blacks were doing so damn well.
Oh yeah,
that was just the icing on the cake. Going to the bars with the South African crews and being able to rub it in, brilliant.
Nice. When was this filmed?
It was about beginning of last year, end of the year before beginning of last year.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it Tower?
Yeah.
Tower.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, we've got Karl Urban in studio.
Yeah, no.
So, hey, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Well, it says on our screen that you can do the Dredd voice. I seriously doubt that, and that's a ballsy move, coming in here and saying you can do it when the actual Dredd is in studio.
Come on, give it to me, Tower.
Give it to me back.
Whoa, that's good. That's good. I like it.
Do you look anything like Karl? Because maybe you could be his double next time. No, that's a bummer.
No, I don't.
I'm a bit worried about my job now.
I'm just a weak someone.
How old are you, Toa?
20.
20. All right, excellent. Because the movie's an R18. I'll give you a double pass. You can go see it, huh?
Oh, sweet. Thank you.
You hold there. And another question from Kathleen. What do you want to say to Karl Urban?
Yeah, hey, Carl. About 13 and a half years ago, you made a film on our farm, Price of Milk.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, Kathleen, how are you?
Good, how are you going?
Very well, thank you.
Good, you're doing very well for yourself.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for calling in. Are you guys still down there?
No, we're not, no. I'm living in Waiyaki, though.
All right.
Was it 13 and a half years ago?
It was many moons ago. That was a wicked experience. We'd shoot that sort of 3 days a week. Harry Sinclair would write the film literally as we were making it, and we'd go down there over this course of this summer, this magical summer, and shoot this amazing film. It was a lot of fun. And it was the price of milk that Peter Jackson saw and put me in Lord of the Rings.
Right.
Is that how you got from here to Hollywood? Do you think, was it Lord of the Rings?
It was a plane.
Yeah, no. I know, but how do you get discovered by these American bigwigs to go do big movies like Star Trek and Dredd and stuff?
Yeah, Lord of the Rings was a big door opener, and Universal put me in a film called The Chronicles of Riddick, and
that's right.
On the back of my work in that, they gave me Bourne Supremacy, and just one thing flowed into the next.
Yeah, and then there was the rumour about you being the Bond guy, and whether there was any truth to that rumour or not, it's flattering to have your name associated with a brand like that, isn't it?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I took a couple of meetings early on in the process, and then when the time came to do the final screen test, I was actually shooting a film, and I couldn't get out I couldn't get released from set to go and do the screen test. But I'm actually really quite cool with it because I think Daniel Craig is a phenomenal Bond, and I can't wait to see Skyfall. Sam Mendes, they're going to knock it out of the park.
Oh my God, you could have been Daniel Craig.
No. I think it was always his. I mean,
right.
You know.
Right.
You would have had to do a bit more beefing up, wouldn't you?
There you go.
Yeah.
And tell me to go and get stuffed if you want. But
okay, go get stuffed.
Okay.
You wait for it.
No, come on, give us the question.
Okay, so a huge movie like Dredd, where you are Dredd, does it pay well, or is it one of those ones where they go, well, it's yours if you want it, but this is what it's paying, take it or leave it?
Well, I did Dredd because I was a fan of the comics growing up. You know, I didn't read many comics, but one that I did read was Dredd. And the thing that I liked about him, he's this enigmatic, cool lawman. He's in the mold of like Clint Eastwood, and that's what we get in the film. So, you know, this is a passion project.
Right.
Carl,
there's your Hummer outside though, so you're doing okay.
So I wouldn't be seen dead in a Hummer.
Karl Urban in studio. He is the star of Dredd 3D, which is out tomorrow.
In sport, the Indian.
I'm going to stop you right there. I think the sport would be a lot better in the Dredd voice.
Where's the sport?
The Indian cricketers bid to qualify for the 2020 World Cup semi-finals has fallen short in their Super 8 game against South Africa. Otago turned on the afterburners to dispatch Manawatu by 51 points to 35 in the ITM Cup clash at Palmerston North last night.
Do you do that for your wife?
You should.
It's business time.
I bet, you know, because she's your wife, she's so unimpressed. You know, it's like, yeah, whatever.
Save
Carl.
it for the set, Carl. Have you put the recycling out?
What the hell is up with you and those chairs?
I know, I don't get it.
Well, Karl Urban is in studio. Dredd opens tomorrow nationwide. It's an R18. I urge you to go and see it. It's just one of those movies where you just walk in and you're blown away. I thought the 3D effects were amazing, and particularly the way that they sort of morphed the slow-mo drug into some of those effects as well. It just made the movie feel really real.
Yeah, you know, like a lot of films that have come out these days that are in 3D, this was actually shot in 3D, and we had an Oscar-winning DP, Anthony Dodmantle, and it's just visually it is a yummy film, and you know, I thoroughly recommend if you're gonna see it, go check it out in 3D because it's wicked.
It is wicked.
That's great. And what's coming up for you in the next couple of years?
Next couple of years, I've got Star Trek 2 coming out next year. That'll be fun, and in the meantime, I'm just basically flying around the world promoting Dredd.
Awesome.
Brilliant. What a life.
Karl Urban in the studio with us. He's got to go soon, so do we, sadly. So we're going to have to wrap this up fast.
Oh.
Jeez, you've come such a long way. What years were you on Shortland Street?
Just down the road.
600 metres. Walked here.
What years were you on Shortland Street? When was that?
Oh, mate, I don't know. I just have no idea. That was many moons ago.
Early
what is it? Early 90s?
Early 90s, yeah.
Early 90s.
You played Jamie, the gay ambo driver.
The happy ambulance driver.
I think we've got a clip of that here.
Do you?
Oh.
You're not breaking up to make up.
Oh, no.
You know, at first I thought I was being paranoid.
But now you realise you're just being a realist, right?
I came home and I found him in bed with another guy. Didn't even miss a beat. You know, I really thought he was going to be the one.
No, it's a shame, man.
I mean, we got on so well. What could I want?
Fidelity? Now look, it's his loss.
Do you feel sad that you threw it all away?
Oh, I know. What could have been?
I know, it's amazing to think you went from that to this.
800 million people.
Your voice has changed a lot over the
800
years.
million people living in the ruin of the old world. Only one thing fighting for order in the chaos. The guy who smokes a lot of cigarettes and drinks a lot of whiskey.
Jeez, you know, 'cause
I love it.
Michael Galvin must see you doing these things and going, God, I should have gone out in the early 90s.
Simon's on the phone. Simon, you want to ask Karl Urban a question?
Yeah, I do. I mean, in all your travels, mate, I mean, which milk do you drink? Do you drink Slim or 2%?
I actually, and I shouldn't say this is the backbone of the country, but I don't drink milk. I'm kind of, it doesn't agree with me so much.
Lactose intolerant.
Lactose intolerant, but I'm partial to a little bit of trim in the flat white, if you must know.
You're such an awkward one.
Good to know.
Who would have thought that Dredd is lactose intolerant?
Hello, Richard.
G'day. I was just wondering, which is your favourite actor to have worked with, or who would you like to work with in the future?
Hey Richard, how are you, mate? I think my favourite actor that I've worked with would have to be Viggo Mortensen. I worked with him on Lord of the Rings, and I still hang out with him from occasion to occasion. Actually, I just, funnily enough, when I was in Spain recently promoting Dredd, Viggo's movie was coming out the day after mine. And I was doing press the day before him, and I went in there and I told all of the press that Viggo just bought a goat farm in Segovia with 1,000 goats. And I swear to God, it was reported in the news. It was on primetime television, and every single interview that he went in to talk about his movie, he was being asked about this goat farm and the goat cheese. And in the end, he actually started lying, saying, "Yeah, I like the spotted ones because they make sweeter cheese and they fart less." So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Do you think you got on quite well with him because you're both, genuine sort of guys in an industry, full of bullshitters? Is that part of it?
Just click. When you click with someone, you click with someone, and I just, I look to him as an example of how I would like to treat people. He is, in my mind, the definition of true altruism. He's a saint in my eyes.
Karl, it's been great having you in here this morning. So good.
Thank you for having me.
Do you still have the Dredd helmet?
I do, actually. I tried to steal it 3 times before they actually finally gave it to me. But I have got it now, yeah.
Oh, that's good. I wish you'd worn it in here. That would have been cool.
Do you have like a memorabilia room?
Oh, I've collected a bunch of stuff from my movies. I've got my Lord of the Rings helmet. I've got a gun from the Chronicles of Riddick. I've got the leather jacket from the Bourne Supremacy. I've got a bunch of stuff.
Right. A strand of Matt Damon's hair?
A strand? No, but I've definitely upped what I take from the movies. When I was working on Herc and Xena in early New Zealand shows, I used to nick thermal underwear. But that doesn't really look so good on the shelf.
Would you ever go to a costume party dressed
in thermal underwear? No.
Dressed as one of the costumes that you've got from set? Like, would you go as Dredd to something?
I might be tempted to one day.
Cool. Well, if I'm going to one, I'll come and ask you to borrow your helmet. That sounds good.
You just listen to that list of movies that you just mentioned. Amazing, mate. Hope you're proud of yourself.
Well, cheers for that. I really appreciate it, and thanks for having me in tonight. And guys, go check out Dredd. It is awesome. Don't take my word for it. No, actually, do take my word for it.
It's an R18. It is a really good movie. I'll just warn some people who have a weak stomach. Ooh, it's in 3D, and it is bloody
Bloody good.
awesome. And,